the NFL on EA Sports. And there's no love lost between these AFC North foes. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. All that and more coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League takes us to the banks of the Ohio River and Paycor Stadium in the Queen City of Cincinnati. Today, it's an AFC North matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Get us started now, the kicker Chris Boswell, and we are underway from Cincinnati. Taken in at the 3. And he returns this to the 22. Here come the Bengals, and CD, of course, it's Joe Burrow out of LSU at quarterback.
And when you come into the league as the #1 guy selected, a lot of hype comes with it. Sometimes that weight can be unbearable. But this young man, he took that weight on and handled it as well as you can imagine. And I love his ability to make a second, third reaction play and create downfield.
Quickly to the air is Burrow. He'll find his tight end here, Asiasi. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be second down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Working with a 2nd and 3. On the jet sweep, here's Chase. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, I sure wouldn't be surprised if we see more of this as this game goes on, because we know they like to use their wideouts either on quick throws or on jet sweeps like what we just saw there. And to say that that one worked well, partner, that's stating the obvious.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And the catch made, it's Tyler Boyd. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage, got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Burrow will throw. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical that it'd be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
First down, here's Burrow. Another one into the hands of Jamar Chase. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Well, they clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease, feels good about what he's doing. I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that, and I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. On the ground, this is Joe Mixon. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
Now Burrow. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Hayden Hurst from 3 yards out. And the Bengals are on the board first here this afternoon.
I do believe we came here to see a game, didn't we? And it looks like he's running what we call routes versus air. He just go out there with your offensive unit and throw the football with no defense. He's 5 for 5 on the opening drive.
He was on his game there for drive number 1, but my only thing is now he can't go any higher than that. He was so perfect. Can he do it again later?
Yeah, all he cares about right now is making it 10 for 10, 15 for 15, and he feels like he can get it done.
So that winds up a 7-play drive all told, and it ends with a Bengals score. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Taken at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. And a glance here at their shifty mobile signal caller.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now, because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's got his man on the out route. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Defense gives up a touchdown on the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Our first carry for Najee Harris. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They run again with Harris. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit. Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going. Good sign on the opening drive. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. On the give, this is Harris. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress. Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance. They'll run with Harris. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game. Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game. It's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early. A give to Harris. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. 46 yards rushing so far, and this is just their first possession. They've got a new set of downs here. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now. It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
8 yards.
From the 5, here's 2nd and 2. They run with Harris. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Najee Harris. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it was Najee Harris who finished it off with a touchdown run. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
These two teams all tied after 1. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Now Burrow on 1st down. That one taken in by T. Higgins.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. And we got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Second and 11 now. From the shotgun, it's Burrow.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
And Burrow going to throw again.
He gets this one to Boyd.
And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain.
Call it a gain of 3 on the play.
And it'll be 4th down.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
4th down, out comes the punter, Drew Chrisman. Deontay Johnson deep for the Steelers.
Yeah, yikes. Terrible kick headed straight for the sidelines.
So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession.
And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. They'll start the drive with Harris. And some room to maneuver. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. 68 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
First down, and they go back to Harris. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Another first down, this time on a gain of 19. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. He'll drop to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Pat Fryermuth, the intended target, and it's third and short.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far. And you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. So the completion good for just 3, and it'll be 2nd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf. Those got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Najee Harris. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Steelers have taken the lead. And he just did get those feet in there on the side of the end zone. Well done.
Probably the exact size foot necessary, because I think if he had another half size, that catch doesn't count. And he's able to get it in, and it counts for a touchdown.
Extra point now by Boswell. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it was finished off by a Najee Harris touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. No return here for Wilson. It's a touchback. It'll come out to the 25. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they get this game tied up.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll hand it off here. This is Mixon. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Got a man open. It's Chase. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. The LSU connection. Burrow to Chase for the Cincinnati first.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
They will throw on 1st down with Burrow. He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. Oh, this is going to be caught along the sidelines. Probably shouldn't have been caught. He's going to lose yardage there. We remind you in just a couple of minutes we'll get you to Orlando and our good friend Jonathan Coachman. Coach will run through some of the numbers and the next-gen stats from this first half of football so far. That's the tight end Hurst with it. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It'll go down as a gain of 6 and 3rd and 8 now.
That's certainly one way to beat the blitz. Get out of your hands quickly. Get it to the big fella.
Very effective. Saw the pressure, got rid of it, and the completion ensued. On 3rd down, Burrow. Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 26. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play. You ready to run?
Mixon with a 1st down carry. In on the stop, DeMonte Casey.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. This is caught. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Burrow with a touchdown connection to Tyler Boyd. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am, go ahead and tapping out the first half. There's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, or they want to let their return guy touch it.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Steelers taking over now late in this first half. And they've got just under 50 seconds, so time enough to try to work their way downfield if they so choose. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's caught by the 6'8" tight end, Zach Gentry. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll drop to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On play action, they'll throw. Wide open receiver complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. 56 yards. And the Steelers will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is now 21-14. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And the Bengal offense going to see the ball one more time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. Here's Burrow. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcoming everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, let's take a look at the next-gen stats from the first half for the Steelers. They've had some success on the ground, and with the lead going into the second half, they'll no doubt be looking to keep it going. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football, and they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the 3rd quarter. Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. But Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead now, a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it, and in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them too. Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. On second down, and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. So we thought maybe they would have a chance to extend this lead on the opening drive of the second half. Instead, they cough it up.
Obviously not an ideal start when you're trying to get a little separation, and I can guarantee that they talked about that in the locker room. Let's get out there, start this quarter the right way. Let's try and put some points on the board and create some space.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Able to find Higgins. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Throwing again on second down. Burrow. That's caught over the middle by Hurst.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Jamar Chase on a touchdown throw from Joe Burrow. And the Bengals take the forced fumble and convert it into 6 points. So a strong drive here to lead off this third quarter. That has them an extra point away from tying things up.
And, partner, this is pretty much what they envisioned when they were sitting there in the locker room thinking about getting things going to start here in the third quarter. Getting out there, a field goal would have been fine. But going ahead and scoring here, an extra point away from tying things up, that's exactly how they drew it up on the board.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And we are tied at 21. So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. Najee Harris and the Steeler offense set to go to work once again.
I think he's still shaking his head a little. It was his fumble on the previous drive that led to the touchdown that has us tied.
And sometimes it's worse on a runner who drops it like that to watch the other team take the ball downfield and score than maybe if they just returned it right away. You know what I mean? Because sometimes what happens that fast, you're right back out on the field. Instead, he had to watch it happen. Let's see if it affects him going forward the rest of the game.
They'll come out throwing here on first down.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Now a man open down the middle of the field, and they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a first down to boot.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll set up to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. Just a gain of a couple there. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. On the sideline, did he keep his feet in bounds? They say yes. Great job, both feet in, first down. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available, because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. A run with Harris out of the shotgun, and he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Here's 2nd and 8. That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now Harris. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll set up a throw. His pass caught at the 4. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And this is going to be incomplete. That has to feel like a very unsatisfying drive, right? You move the ball all that way, and then you can't convert on 3rd down.
But it was satisfying up until that point. Almost like a great movie, and then the film cuts out before the big ending.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. From the left half, should be a fairly easy one here. Boswell's kick is good, and with it, they'll take the lead at 24-21. So a response there to the touchdown of the opening drive of this 3rd quarter as they're able to reclaim the lead.
And I think he'll take that because obviously you'd like to be able to match them touchdown for touchdown, but the first order of business was to get the lead back, and they've done that. Now you want to give a good pep talk to your defense to take it from there.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. It sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
Yeah, we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a 1st down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Burrow will throw. He completes it to Boyd. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard.
Burrow looking to pass. This goes out wide from Mixon. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Now Burrow. Pass thrown right back to Joe Mixon. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover it before he gets going.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. They're passing here. Joe Burrow firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. They go play action with Burrow. This is caught. It's Boyd. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a first down on that last catch as well.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and we watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Throwing again, it's Burrow. And it's caught. Touchdown! Joe Burrow with a touchdown connection to Tyler Boyd. And the Bengals have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. This has definitely been a back-and-forth affair, and now they have the lead here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and they gave up the field goal on that last drive, as we remember, but it felt like their offense told them, don't worry about it, we got your backs. We'll come back with a touchdown of our own, and they did.
McPherson now for the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it's finished off by the touchdown from Tyler Boyd. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Yeah, they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Come on now, let's make it happen, baby. Let's make it happen.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now a give, running left is Harris, and he'll be taken down at about the 45.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Looking to throw. Going up top. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. They came with a safety blitz, and Daxton Hill got home. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
And they decided to go with the safety blitz there. And look, if that gets picked up, quarterback really has the advantage then because he'll have more time to throw the football and some wide open space. But when it doesn't, that's a guy who gets a free run into the backfield. And oftentimes, the QB ends up on his backside as he did there.
Yeah, the next-gen stat's going to illustrate just how quickly a quarterback has to process everything as he was on the ground in under 3 seconds, 2.9 to be precise. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation. And taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. From the 27, Burrow. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he'll just get rid of it. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Harris running straight ahead. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
chance of wasting this great starting field position a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now back to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. A late turnover is so often the difference in a ball game, and here the turnover leads to the go-ahead touchdown.
So repeat after me, partner. You have to take care of the football. In order to protect a lead, you must take care of the football. Ball security. How many times do they have to say it? They've been preaching it since day 1 of camp, and it came back to bite them right there.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that gives them a 3-point lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Burrow. And he's got Hurst as tight end. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
First down, here's Burrow. And he'll spot Higgins open left side. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Got a man open. It's Chase. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. Looking to throw again on second down. Burrow. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll get maybe a couple before he's taken down, as that will take us to the 2-minute warning. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a critical third down now, needing a score here in the late going. Here's Burrow. Open man, it's complete to Higgins. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 24-yard line. 14 yards through the air, caught the D off guard on 3rd and 1. He has been terrific today, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely running flawless 2-minute drill right here. This has been quarterbacking 101 with a flourish.
Burrow. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Now Burrow. And that one nearly intercepted. That would have sealed it. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion. So I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Over the middle, he finds Higgins. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal. An incompletion, now a short pickup. That's not going to do it.
Yeah, you got to get to the line of scrimmage quickly, get set up, and aim downfield.
For the lead, here's 3rd and goal. Throwing, Burrow. And that'll be caught. Touchdown, Bengals. It's Tyler Boyd. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Bengals answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead. What a game this has been, and what a drive that was, Charles, to take the lead here late in the 4th quarter.
And partner, that's a job well done by everyone, from the players to the guys calling the plays. And if I may introduce just one downside to the mix, might be a little bit too much time left. Enough on the clock for a final last-ditch effort to try and steal this win away.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. To the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Taken in at the 3. Well, now how about this return? He's to midfield. Still going past the 30. And he will score. Touchdown, Steelers. They had just lost the lead. That deficit sure didn't take long to erase. They return the ensuing kickoff for a touchdown.
Love the thunderbolt that just came out of that one. That puts them in the end zone and back in the lead. Your only question, your defense just gave up a score that put you behind. Will that score you just added on the board, will it energize them? Or do they have to go back out there and they're a tired unit? We'll soon see.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. And what a job there by all 11 on the kick return. The blocking excellent, the return excellent. The result, 6 points. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
Brandon Wilson now from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. So Burrow and the Bengals down by a field goal, 47 seconds remaining. And they need, at minimum, 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. To throw, Burrow.
He's got a man, complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Give him 30 yards there. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
Burrow. Throw left side, complete to Chase.
And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Now it's Burrow. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Boyd. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. Throwing now is Joe Burrow. He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game.
So a pressure spot here for Evan McPherson.
Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And this one is right through. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. I tell you, the life of a kicker He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the fourth quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. Taken in at the 3.
The Steelers pick over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 4 quarters not enough. We're all even, and to overtime we go.
How much fun is this for everyone who's watching the game? How much fun is it for us to see this one get an extra period to get settled?
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So it'll be the Bengals with the football here to start the overtime session as the kick is away. This taken in at the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And everyone knows the OT rules, Charles, but pretty simple formula. They go down and get a field goal, we continue play, but if they can find the end zone on this possession, ball game over.
And as meticulously as all teams plan for a game, I don't doubt for a second on that offense coordinator's play sheet, he's got some overtime plays that he wants to run. I know it sounds crazy, but they plan for everything. 1st and 10 all the way throughout the game, 2nd and 7, whatever. Right now, he's looking at that play sheet saying, if we get to overtime, what can we break out that they haven't seen?
Miles Jack there to make the tackle. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way, because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
What will they draw up to try to keep this opening drive of overtime moving? 3rd and 7. Now it's Burrow.
He's going to have the hook up here to Chick.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
Finding room at midfield.
And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Burrow will throw. Oh, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to have it with a chance to win the game here in overtime. Boy, that's a tough one right there, CD. They fought back to tie it, to send it to overtime, had all the momentum, and then that interception.
That fighting spirit, those fighting plays that got them back into it, maybe a little too aggressive there, throwing the interception, and now they've opened the door to get beat by a field goal coming back the other way.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. Now a first throw here in overtime. That's swung out wide to Harris. It'll be a gain of 5. And it's 2nd down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
And there he goes, left side. And they will finally get to him down at the Bengals 7-yard line. 169 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. So he nearly took it the distance, gets him down inside the 10 for a 1st and goal.
I'd love to be in his head right now, because is he rewarding himself for a great run, or is he kicking himself because he didn't get all the way to the goal line?
They'll look to throw here. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. As the fans exit back out through the turnstiles, not happy looks on their faces. Feel like they probably let this one slip away at home in overtime.
I would agree with that, and their unhappiness hurts the guys at concession stands on the way out, right? Not stopping to buy something for the kids. They just want to get home. But what a dramatic way to finish this bad boy off. I mean, this game was dramatic all the way through. That's why we got to overtime. And then to go ahead and finish it this way, the fans screaming out unhappy. But the team that came in here and won this one on the road, they sprinted to their locker room.
And speaking of buying things, dinner on you tonight, Davis.
I kind of figured that was coming.